What's up, Fantasy Freaks? It's Rob, the NRL Fantasy Freak, back with my Round 8 review. 991 points. Kind of disappointed. Captaincy was on Cleary. I switched it up this week. Got my partner to pick my captain, as I thought that May, Haas, and Cleary all had a good chance of scoring big, and it did not pay off. I have learnt that the golden rule this year is to captain Terrell May, and so that's what it'll be for the foreseeable future. My overall rank is 1018, so just outside the top 1k. Team value over the 13 mil, and I got 107k in the bank with 24 trades available. Going through the team, Mamazala's 54, solid. May with that massive 104 and Haas with the 97. Two great captaincy options, but as I said, May will be it for me. With playing the full 80, he's just, you gotta captain him. Safe as houses. Isaiah Yeo 50, a down week, and the Panthers are sitting bottom of the table, so it's not looking good for Yeo, and planning to trade him round 11, so hopefully he can get a couple of big scores to get some cash for me and some points. Egan 33 didn't play the full 80, so he's been named to start this week, so hopefully he can go back to playing the full 80. With Gula being there, affected him and Couchman's minutes, seems. The Roosters boys all had a down week again. White with 36, Watson 33, Wong 45. Savala with 57 was the only good one, and I didn't even get his score. Toya with 24 as well, very low score. And yeah, the Roosters just seem to be playing games where the ball is not going through the middle as much, not much tackling going on, or they just got possession so that they're not having to tackle. Cleary, another low score, 56 for him. Fogarty with a great late try for 73, stoked for that. Toa 38. If they could just give him some more ball, exactly like Tamale. They're both weapons, attacking weapons that just are underutilized. So, yeah, hopefully they can get some more ball to them. I was hoping with Galvin back that Toll would get more ball, but it didn't happen. Sharp with 50, he is solid. Tackling well for a half. Garrick 58. Definitely take that in the difficult wing fullback position. And Brimson 44 is solid at his price. Horse 61. He just keeps going strong, and glad to have him in the team. Nicholson 56 with a try as well. He has been invaluable, and it looks like he's secured that 80-minute role even with Hosking there, so that's good. Hubner's out, and he's been named on the bench this week, so that's not good for his potential price gains. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I just wanted to give an update on my NRL Fantasy Freak League. I'm in first, 141 points ahead of Mer HC, who is 15 points ahead of NRL Fantasy Pro app. So this year I entered my first ever Last Man Standing Cashy League, $20 entry, and it was the final this week. I was up against Landon, and 991 took it out. We both captained Cleary, so could have easily been on the wrong end of that captaincy decision. So very happy to take it out and look forward to doing it again. We're thinking of doing one from after the origin period, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. In my head-to-head All-Stars League, I'm also first, 7 wins and 1 loss, but there's 4 players only 1 win behind and another 3 1 win behind them, so it's still anyone's game at this stage. So this is how the Experts League is looking after 8 rounds. Nath from JBFA, ranked 205, is awesome. Nikki, on the other hand, also from JBFA, is ranked 16,950. So he's bringing down their average rank to 4821. Highest round score this week, 1123 from Brenton from Talking League. Great score, and he's propelled up from 9th to 2nd on the leaderboard. On the other hand, Biz from the Casual Athlete, 959, and he's dropped from 10th to 16th. And the average round score of 1024 shows why I was kind of disappointed with my 991. There's a lot of 1,000 scores there. But I'm still in 3rd, so nothing to complain about. Austin from the Fantasy Amateurs is in 4th. Jamie in 5th. Longy from the Casual Athlete in 6th. Matt T from JBFA 7th. Jason from Talking League 8th. Scoop in 9th. Rob Fang in 10th. And you can see the rest. Let's move on. So here's my NRL Fantasy Freak Expert template that's put together from taking all the data from all 20 expert teams. So the key trade-ins and outs going into this round were Savala 11 trade-ins, Sharp 7, Drinkwater 5, Lucas 3, Clark 3, Carraz 3, Hines 2, Couchman 2, and Farmworth 2. And the trade-outs were Toa 7, Jenkins 5, Sandon Smith 5, Hubner 4, Hopgood 4, Campbell 4, Walsh 3, Munster 3, Smith 2, and Howarth 2. Any less than 2 I haven't put in there. I've got the round 8 expert ownership breakdown on the right there. You can go through that at your leisure. I own everyone on that table, so I'm trying to play a very template team and to see how that goes this year, see if that gets me a good rank or not. And with all that data, I've put together this expert template team. So the rules for this team that I must have at least 1 sub on the interchange for each position, and the team value must be under the average team value for the content creators. So for this team, I've got Mamazelis at hooker, Terrell May, Isaiah Yeo, and Payne Haas in the mids, Toby Couchman and Sue Wong in the edges, Cleary and Fogarty in the halves, Purdue and Tamale in the centres, so very light in the centres, Brimpson, Sharp, and Garrick at the back. Again, no real guns there. On the bench, we've got Watson, Horsburgh, Dylan Egan, and Kautoga. And for the emergencies, Hubner, Savala, Jenkins, and Toya. And that comes to a team value of 12.94 mil. And taking the top 17, the last 3 average would get a score of 1,053. So I've got a couple of players highlighted here. Haas, experts 80% owned compared to 97% for the top 1K. Sue Wong, 55% for the experts and 40% for the top 1K. Purdue, 35% owned by the experts but 55% by the top 1K. Brimpson, 40% owned by the experts but only 16% by the top 1K. So it'd be interesting to see if Brimpson stays in the experts teams moving forward. Sharp 55% compared to 17% in the top 1K. So a lot of, as we saw, 7 people bought him in this week. And Connor Watson, 30% compared to 56% in the top 1K. So his ownership is definitely going to be dropping, especially coming up to Origin. And finally, Hubner at 60% owned by the experts, but 85% by the top 1K. And I think his ownership will start to drop too, since he's been named on the interchange. So I'm going to go through my team to find out who the potential sells are. So Payne Haas, negative. I've sorted this by value, or my projected value. -1 for Haas, but he's a gun and the second best captaincy option. White, 1 point of value. He's got the mid-edge duel over the Origin period, which is useful. Horsburgh, he's a peaked asset, but he's a keeper, expected to average in the 50s. Sell if he makes Origin, as he's not the elite Haas, May or Yo. Then we've got Fogarty, 1 point of value. He's a gun half that won't play Origin, so he's good to have in the team. Garrick, gun wing fullback centre duel is great to own over Origin. Egan, dropped minutes last game. He's named to start, so let's see how his minutes go, but he could be a potential sell. Tamale, he's got the wing fullback centre duel, which is useful over the bye period. If he gets more ball, he will be a great scorer. Got him expected to average just under 40, so he's definitely not a keeper, and he's someone we can look to move on in the future. Mamazelis, high 40s average. He's great value, and don't waste a trade in this position. Brimson, he's almost peaked, but the wing fullback is a dicey spot. Has duel, which could be handy over Origin. Still got a little bit of value there. Sharp, who I just brought in, he's gun wing fullback half duel, and he's great for the bye rounds with the Knights not having a bye until round 18. And finally, Toa, who a lot of the experts sold last week. I project him to average 42, so he's got 4 points of value still, and that's based on his 2023 averages. I think he's got a great winger in Taruva next to him, and Galvin to unlock him, so I think there is potential for him to grow. Looking at the rest of the team, so Toya, he is the lowest averaging player in my team, expected at 38. Still got some value, but I've got too many Roosters in my team, and I can get someone a lot better in that position for him, so he's probably a sell. Hubner, 6 points of value, but he's been dropped to the bench. See how many minutes he gets this week, but we might have to sell him. I'm not really a fan of him, so he's definitely on my list to sell. He doesn't really have the upside, in my opinion. Isaiah Yo, he's underpriced gun still, but with the buy in coming in round 11 and then Origin round 12, he'll probably be a sell. Kautoga, really bad last score, still should make some coin, so I wouldn't be putting him in my 17. Try and loop him if you can, but he's got some value there. Watson will play Origin, which means he misses a lot of rounds, and we can replace him with Clark, so it seems like a no-brainer trade to me. But he does have value there, so if you want to hold trades, it's not a bad hold. Wong, underpriced gun, won't play Origin, handy buy round player. He's had some low scores, but I think he can still pump out a big one, and then all of those low scores will be forgotten. So hopefully that is this week. He's playing the full 80, and that is the main thing that I want to see. And he's got the game. He's a great tackler. He's an offloader. Yeah, he can do it all. So he's a player I'm happy to own. Cleary, he's underpriced gun. Maybe sell round 11 as he'll miss 11 and 12. But he's a more of a hold than Yo because there's so many mids that we can buy. Halves are a lot more difficult to get at that average. Matty Nicholson, 10 points of value. Underpriced gun, won't play Origin. And happy to have him in the team. Terrell May, he's a gun as he's proven and still got value there. So if you, for some crazy reason, don't own him, get him in your team. And he's the main captaincy option from now on. And finally, Savala, 21 points of value. He should make some good coin, so definitely get him if you haven't. So I've got here the potential sales. Watson at number 1. He's in the Roosters. I've got 5 Roosters, so that's bad planning on my part. Need to get rid of them before their bye next week. Otherwise, I could end up short. He's got a reasonably high break even in the 60s. Pretty sure he'll play Origin. His form is bad, so it's another reason to jump off. And the fact that there's a nice swap in Clark for the same duel who won't play Origin and who is in much better form. Toya, same, playing for the Roosters, which isn't ideal, so if I get rid of him, that'll be good for the squad balance. BE isn't great at 37 when he's averaging 37, so he's not going to make any money anytime soon. Form's not good. I can get a much better player upgrading in his position in Lucas, so that's why I want to get rid of him so I don't have too many centres in the team. Hubner at number 3. His role is less stable now that he's been named on the bench, and personally I don't think he's gonna make you that much money, so if you need to sell someone, I would be getting rid of him. He's in the mid position as well, where there's lots of good mids, so you don't really need another mid. And yeah, as mentioned, I'm not a fan unless he was getting 60 minutes, which seems very unlikely off the bench. Toa, he has peaked in price, and that's why a lot of experts were jumping off. But he's in the centre position, and I don't like to waste trades on centres, and I'm already selling Toya, so he's more of a hold for me than Toya. Also, as I mentioned, with Taruva outside him and Galvin inside him, I think there is potential for him to be a 50-point player, and that will be very beneficial to the team. He just needs to get more ball. And finally, Egan. We thought he was going to be an 80-minute edge. Well, play some edge, some middle, but definitely get the 80 minutes because he looks like a gun. And that has been decimated last week, so I wouldn't be playing him in my starting 17 if I didn't have to, and I'll be looking to loop him this week. So I've created this watch list based on who the experts brought in last week and plus a couple of others. I've sorted it by expected average, as points is what we need to be targeting as well as value. The value stands out pretty easy there. I've put it in green if they're good value over 10 points. Between 0 and 10 they're orange, and below that is red. So we've got Toby Couchman at the top. Highest expected average, but with Gula back, he's definitely not a buy. And Aaron Clark, low B of 15. Hooker mid dual, handy for round 12. With James Fisher-Harris back, he could get less minutes than the last 2 weeks, but his form has been really good. He passes the eye test, so I think he's a great option. Farnworth, he's a gun centre, won't play Origin, but he's kind of at peak price, so if you can pick him up when he has a bad run, couple of bad games or something, just to get a bit of discount would be ideal, but he will be a great player to have over Origin as he won't play. Lucas, he's a gun. He's got the dual edge center, so that's very handy when trying to account for injuries and suspensions. And he won't play Origin, so he's slightly cheaper than Farnworth, 50k cheaper, so he's a great option. Hines, he's a gun half, but next to Trindle, he's not as dominant as he used to be, and I wouldn't be going there. There's also the chance that he could make Origin if one of the Cleary or Moses were to get injured. So I think Fogarty is a lot safer option. Carraz, he's a gun dual wing fullback centre. Great for the Origin period, although he might get into Origin if Lomax doesn't come back in time. Drinkwater, gun fullback for the Origin period, but I'm targeting JC instead. But yeah, he's definitely someone you can use to shore up that wing fullback position. He's playing well. And then we've got the cheapies in King Toiga. So he's been named Ilias. I don't think he'll get back in the team. I think Flanagan can easily do the job of a 7, and that means King Toiga is definitely the value option out of him and Tuivati. He's projected 42. Well, I've projected him at 42 points, so he'll be definitely making some money. Tuivati, he's cheap. Joe O immediate release helps him secure his minutes. He's still number 17 though, and you've got Madison there, so it's not the greatest of job security. He was an under 19 Origin player, so he's got game, and you could definitely take a punt on him, and he's not taking up too much salary cap, so you can have a go at him if you want. So my potential buys, I've got Clark at number 1, the low BE, the dual, the buy cover, and his form is amazing. Lucas at number 2, the gun, no Origin. Buy cover is good. He's slightly cheaper than Farnworth, and he's got good fixtures coming up for some attacking stats. Farnworth at number 3, getting a gun in is always good, and he's got the higher expected points over Drinkwater. That's what puts him slightly ahead. Drinkwater in the difficult wing fullback position, and you know he won't play Origin, so he's definitely a great option. And King Toiga is a great cash out option to put as much money into your starting 17 as you can, and there's great upside there. So there we go. So here's how the team lines up for round 9. First up, the trades. So Watson, Toya, and Hubner out. For Clark, King, Togia, and Lucas in. Team values at 13.101 mil and 84k in the bank. Just to sense check my trades, the who's hot and who's not list, I just got a snippet here with Clark as the number 1 buy this week. Savala already own. Togia at number 3, getting him. Furmore will play Origin, so shouldn't be being bought in my opinion. And Lucas. So I'm getting the 3 best buys this week basically. And who's not? Toya and Watson at the top, so I'm getting rid of them. And Hiroti I don't own. Ponga I don't own. Wouldn't be selling Ponga. And Pakes, he's lost that starting spot, so I'd definitely be getting rid of him. But Hubner had to go for my team as the least likely to make value when you've got Egan and Katoga starting and Hubner is on the interchange, and I don't really rate Hubner compared to Jai Arrow. So he's still a good player, and if he was going to get the minutes, he'd definitely be a great hold. So looking at the team, got Mamazelis at hooker, May as captain, Yo and Haas, Nicholson and Wong in the edges, Cleary and Fogarty in the halves, Toa and Lucas in the centres, Sharp, Tamale and Brimpson at the back, Horsburgh, Clark and White on the interchange with Garrick in the number 4 slot to loop Kautoga and Egan. Kautoga goes good. I've got the option to reverse the Hubner-Lucas trade and just put Garrick into the centre spot, take Kautoga's score, and then potentially look at Drinkwater. But I do think Lucas is a final team target, whereas Drinkwater isn't. So, and Jaden Campbell is my preferred option at the back, and Sharp. And I don't really want to spend money at the back if I don't have to. But also, Horse is another option that if I had to, if there was a late out for Sharp, Tamale or Brimpson, Horse could go to bring in a wing fullback like Drinkwater. Might be too late by then. But to bring in a wing fullback if I need it. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. So that's pretty much it for this week. Good luck for Magic Round, and I will see you in the next video.